which so far is good.
I would also suggest that you separate your money in the sense of which money you will go to maintain the keep, etc., and which money you're going to use for your personal use as well.
Yeah, right now I just have the funds from before just in one of the documents.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has not been split to anyone whatsoever. It's just in keep funds right now.
Increase that by 90.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and throw 90 in then.
Yeah.
Because I had 390 gold. I'll drop down to 300.
All right. Boop. Extra 90 gold.
Yeah. Oh, you can do that, Gar. No problem. It says, well, I mean, my downtime will be spent either doing research or acquiring enough money to add to the key funds to get my tower going. Yeah. And also, one of the things about getting your tower that allows you to modify existing spells. But you need the tower to do so. Yeah. 10% time and 10% cost. Yeah. Also, does Gar have as part of their background, do they have a job, basically? Because there's some ways in downtown to create money. Like bards can perform, etc., etc. That might be also a thing that Gar may have.
All right.
Not only libraries access, but I am wizard with access to the arcane. Well, they're not specific. I guess I could. I mean, we might talk about that. What cantrips and first level spells you can use that don't consume a lot of resources, but allow you to make money. If you can come up with any ideas, and yeah, we can.
Out of curiosity, would that library make it so? Would that be only wizard spells, or would that be anyone's spells?
No, it has to be wizard spells.
Okay.
In fact, the book says that there's a specific prohibition on modifying clerical spells, divine magic, because the gods don't like you messing with their powers, essentially.
So basically, yeah. So I wouldn't be able to touch with any of my stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In the evening, basically, the knight stays for a day and then leaves. Unless you have any message you want to send back, he basically says, "Thank you for the accommodations, my lord." And so, yeah, if you have any message back, if you
can I discreetly cast Hunter's Mark on him when he leaves?
It's magic in D&D, unless otherwise specified, especially if it has verbal components and semantic components. It's like making wild motions and speaking loudly and stuff like
100%.
that.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, because it does have a verbal, but that's it.
Yeah, I think the one you can do is that you have extremely semantic components. You don't have to use any other components, and you don't have to speak. Yeah. Then you could make a stealth check or performance check to hide your casting of a spell, right? Yeah. You sort of hide your hand motions in such a way that people can't see them.
Yep, no worries.
But the assumption has always been in D&D that spellcasters are loud motherfuckers.
100%. Yeah. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to check because I was going to get the general tracking of the route that he took to be.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if he could leave and you could try to hide and then at a distance try to do it, but other people might see you, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not taking that risk. I'm not taking that risk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I understand. Yeah, the tower does quite a bit of stuff, a lot of heavy lifting. For the keep, for the for the castle overall once it's established. By the way, Brave and others, I know that this might be putting it on, but is everybody thinking of creating their own stronghold that would be tied to the castle, or are you just just going to try to support what is there because technically everybody, every class that we have here could be covered. We know that Gar wants to make it, and
He
others
was
are interested.
also thinking about doing the same, just because him having a druid grove
Mhm.
or connected to his ranger side, whichever one he ultimately follows through with more,
Mhm.
will grant him some benefits. So
I
it's in
think
his mind.
You could have your hunter's lodge. Brain
let's
can end
look
up
at
having a temple.
so for example, there's a Barbarians Camp, the Bar Theater, the Clerics Church, Druid's Grove, the Fighters Fortress. There's the Rangers Lodge, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have options, and if you're siding more with being a ranger and a hunter, then certainly Rangers
I,
Lodge will be you. But you have
I think that's
access
the
to
way
both.
it's
Yeah.
going.
This is a dumb question, but like,
Go.
isn't that like too many strongholds in one area?
No, because the way it's set up is essentially all of them become part of the castle.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And Gar's been promising and been talking about that. Is that what happens is that they get all integrated. So it's not like you have your main stronghold, right? The foundation in this case is what you're living in right now, and the tower. The tower could be anything. The tower could be, for example, underneath the all the stuff that's down there already would be because it has summoning circles and all that would work to half the price.
Mhm.
So it goes from 10,000 to 5,000 because that already is something that multiple
Yeah.
strongholds combined. It
Yeah.
goes down in price because it's already established. If you do a temple or church, it doesn't necessarily even have to be within the
This particular map.
the walls, right? It doesn't have to be a particular map. It will be within the domain of Kix. And you can even expand it. So, like, we want to have a discrete druid grove, then I could be in another map. It doesn't have to be like in the middle of the keep, right?
Yeah.
Unless you want to establish a stone circle or something in the middle of the keep, but that's
Yeah, unless we want to like literally stack them, which is totally an option. I feel like Gar probably just wants to like take one of these towers and make them bigger or something.
exactly. As Gar is putting in the chat, but 10% of the second part of the castle means 800 gold. Each additional fortress edition has an additional 10%. After my tower, the next one will be 20%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not against actually doing that to build my own keep or anything like that. So
yeah, and also the thing is, it also grows the town as well, right? Because in many ways, if you have a temple, then clearly people will come there to worship. The people that are the farmers come to worship, and so they also come to market, and so you create. It's not simply a matter of just having a castle; it's a matter of having a community. Open console, loads of money. Yeah.
Can we activate the cheat codes now?
Yeah.
All right.
I got look. All I got is like 300 some odd gold. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I literally spent $750 just to get my order plate mail fully paid for right now.
Yeah, I mean that's where going adventuring and doing other things might be a thing.
Quick, everyone, exploit the resources around us. Go, go, go.
Gar, I'm gonna do something for you, Gar. Gar, in the books that you were studying, you brought some copies from Greyhawk. In those 85 days, you find something very interesting, and that is a mention of what is called soul crystals. And you're investigating to the different things that are attached to Vecna, to the other entities, right? Sorry, I said that out loud. And yeah, the other stuff that you're studying, there's no cover level. Yeah. As you're studying that, one of the things that you discovered is soul crystals. Soul crystals work the following way. If you can find the crystals, the source of crystals, and they're properly enchanted, when you kill a creature, you absorb part of its life force. If that sounds familiar, yes, that's exactly where I stole it from. Don't worry about it. But in the case of 5th edition and the rules that we're using is that you can recover a spell level, and this works for wizards only. Wizards and warlocks only can do this. A spell slot based on the strength of the spirit or soul that you have captured. So, for example, and it's if you kill a CR2 creature, a CR essentially it's kind of like a meta magic item. Yeah, it kind of works that way. So it also works for sorcerers as well. Sorcerers, wizards, and warlocks. And yes, I know that most meta magic items are sorcerer exclusive. I understand that. But in this case, I'm making an exception. And let's say you kill a CR2 creature. Yes, what's a CR of this creature? You can essentially get a spell slot back from that crystal up to half the CR. So CR 1 and 2 give you a level 1 slot. CR 1, 2, and 3 because it's not run it down. CR 4 and 5 give you 2. CR 6 and 7 give you 3. That sort of thing. And you can split them up as well. So if you kill a very powerful creature and you absorb part of the soul, you can actually recover lower levels. Like, say, for example, you kill a CR 6 creature, you can recover. That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, that's actually what I was saying earlier. To read Gar's message, when I was going to say is that the tunnels under the keep could count as a base for tower to reduce price by 50%. The coffers have 2.5 in it, and then I got a book that can sell for 2.53. That would be enough right there to get construction started. Yes, it would. We're trying to say that. So if you use the basement, which already has library space and already has a magic circle, you could use that as your base for your tower. Again, the tower doesn't have to be literal tower, right? It's just and he's asking if anybody has any counter argument to that. I don't.
I
No,
don't. Looking
not at
at
all.
the amount that we're going to be paying for just our units, and I don't know how much we're going to be paying for just us staying around. I want that covered at some point, but we should have enough because if we have at least one farm, and especially if we have two, all of our expenses are technically covered, so we can keep going for as long as we need to,
So let me read what
regardless of treasury.
Gar is counting. You have 2,500 K.
Yeah.
If he sells the book, and I have to find a seller for it, which it might take some role playing to do, he can get anywhere between 2.5 to 3,000 gold pieces, and that would be enough to get the construction started. And it would take at least a season, type of, about 45 days for it to be essentially remodeled to his take. Also, one of the reasons why I gave you that map, I put it in Discord while we were talking about that. That's the map that you can use, and you follow the same rules as the castle that I did. You're limited, at least in first level, to what's already on the map, which in this case is pretty extensive because it has a summoning circle and it has space for libraries and a place for sleeping, and it has even cages and stuff like that. But finishing the description of the of what I was talking about. If you kill a very powerful creature, let's say CR6, for example, and you at the moment of death you absorb the energies of it, then you can say recover a third level slot, or you could recover it, and you have to do it all at once. Soul crystals are Grim Harvest with meta magic instead of HP. And you will recover a third level slot, or two, or in this case, it can be 1 second level and 1 first level, or 3 first level. Very much like the ring that Kix is wearing, kind of like that.
It's like Wizard's Arcane Recovery.
Yeah,
And
but you can.
Is good.
And once that is used up, the crystal is destroyed. So,
can anyone use them?
Anybody that can cast spells.
That's everyone except
4 out of 5.
Anybody who can cast, like I said, wizards, warlocks, and sorcerers can use.
Oh, okay. Time to become a wizard.
Barakat is a bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to use it. No.
So as we move forward, I
You
think the next
cast
thing we
wizard spells,
should
yeah.
build after the wizard's basement
Mhm.
would be the Druid Grove, because one of its benefits is what it produces is basically the equivalent of good berries.
Yeah.
So that would
Mhm.
severely reduce the cost of feeding people.
Right. Severely reduced upkeep. I think there was proposal for like entertainer as well, which would be immediately like lots of money coming in.
Yeah.
Establishment, that was it. Yeah, so there's a lot of extra ideas, but second step tower, and we can already pay for it and just get that started. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Gar, give me the feedback on like how much extra change you get off of that later, or how much you need to pull from the pool, and we'll do that. I don't need to know what I'd get from the book. Yeah, which is the part where you have to go ahead and find a seller.
We could contact the wizard that we do know.
Yeah, they probably will be willing to buy it. Yeah.
Mhm. So Gar, take as much time as you need to make sure you can sell it, and everything's going to be good.
No, the other big benefit of the Druid Grove is within let me see if it mentions proper distance. Yeah. So no roads near the Druid Grove last more than a day. And our units could travel as if there was roads, but other people's units would be traveling as if there wasn't. So that may protect us from people who want to march in and try and take the place.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Greyhawk Wizard Guild doing the downtime.
That would be
So
fast.
I guess let's handle the book selling then.
Oh yeah.
That seems like the next place to go here.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Okay. Gar, roll an intelligence check.
Well, I could come along.
I
If
mean,
you
yeah,
want.
Barakat could help you out.
18.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, that's Barakat would give you an advantage on that intelligence check. Try to help you out. Yeah, you get 2,900 gold. That's what they offer you
Pretty
for
good.
it. Mostly in gems, because they're not going to hand you a big pile of gold for it. Yeah, you basically made a very good argument about why this book is important. They should have it and study it and all that.
You're a wizard and you're out of shape. Read the health manual. Start eating right. You can't just eat Mountain Dew in your tower all day.
Mhm.
Says who?
Ah, no, you got me there. Says who? No response for that. Yeah, so total coffers up to 5,400, like Gar says. And 4,800 to start the tower, which would mean that I can go ahead and reduce our funds to 600 and technically have that in the works.
Also, everybody has to pay your in the 45 days that we're making the keep, you have to essentially a month worth of your lifetime expenditures. Like I said, at very minimal, you would have to pay for average. So that's on the GM's is it and the game master's handbook. Not handbook.
Yeah, throw us the
Yeah.
amount. What are we going to look for here?
Uh, Game Mastery. Dungeon Master's Guide. I don't know what. Dungeon.
If I recall
yep.
correctly, it's a silver a day.
So
Wow.
over
But
a
I might
month
be
at
wrong.
medium would be just 3 gold, which pretty low at least. So most of us could probably afford to
Per
upgrade.
character, yeah. So go ahead. Yeah. That's the minimal. But remember, you're also it basically covers the fact that you're living in this castle, the day to day, the food, the drink. Because I don't have to like, oh, I bought X barrels of ale, and that's not to do that,
Mhm.
right? So at least you're living. So everybody should subtract that.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
So at least 3 gold. I'll live twice as well as that, and I'll subtract 6.
mhm.
I'll
I-
spend extra on myself. I'm worth it.
I actually also subtracted 6 just because I figured I would be exercising and getting the troops in shape throughout that time as they come in.
Gosh, Gar, you could probably just afford like 1 copper a day with water.
I'm a kobold who lives in a gazebo turned cage. I will pay 3.
Okay.
Nice.
And hey, you augmented with all the stuff you keep hunting, so you actually eat really well. You spent all the living expenses on just making it taste real good. Sounds great
yeah.
to me.
Oh, absolutely. And like a lot of my hunting is built into those living expenses because it's part of me going out,
Yeah.
bringing some people with me, stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah. I guess part of Kix's increased expenses here is literally trying to make sure that his fine clothing stays clean and proper,
Yeah, pretty much.
and making sure he has extra wax.
That's nasty.
2 concentration spells at once. Yo. Yeah, that's awesome. That's always the kind of thing I want.
The Druid Grove is breath weapon.
Remember, okay.
Get to
One of the
single
things about
concentration.
I want to say this about the powers in the keep or the stronghold powers. They require
Yes.
what's called an extended rest. Essentially you can use it once. They're very powerful, but then you have to spend a significant amount of time in or around your stronghold. In other words, once you use them, if you keep adventuring, you'll be outside of your stronghold. You can't get them until you get back. Essentially, what I call it, you recover them when you have downtime.
Got
So
it.
extended rest is downtime. It's very useful. All of them are very useful, and they're designed to be rules breaking because they're part of the sort of the people remember the other campaign I was running. It runs on the same concept. The king is the land is the king. So that's why you have this outsized power ability. But once you use it, essentially it's not. Oh, I got to rest, and it's not a long rest. It's what's called an extended rest. In fact, I will read to you what extended rest means, so everybody's on the same page. That
Yep, here we
page
go.
is page 15 of the book. Stronghold grants special ability to quickly run out of the uses must be recharged by taking an extended rest. An extended rest requires spending a week at your stronghold, touching base with your subjects and followers, and attending to your affairs. And explain why it's done, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the idea for not only for role playing reasons, but also because it would be goes from being very powerful to eventually campaign breaking in some cases.
Yep.
Mhm.
So that all makes sense. All we had to do is come home, spend a week, we get them back. Or at least Kix and Gar will get them back for the time being.
Well, not
Kix gets some
Gar
wizard
Gar,
level.
Gar doesn't get him yet because construction is going to start now.
All right. Once his construction is complete, that's right.
So basically, by winter of this year, he will start getting it.
It might actually. It might attract more followers, and that'll be interesting.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Gar with his own personal retinue of turtles.
Undead turtles.
Yeah. Oh. Gar, I'm not sure if you remember, but we do have a scroll of magic missile and Melf's acid arrow if you want either of those to scribe into your book. Since you're the only one who can use them anyway, they're all yours. We can sell and make money, sell them. All right, we'll figure out how much we can sell scrolls for later.
I think I do have that table. Got a table for that. Let me check.
Yeah, they're like level 1 and 2 spells, so they're like on the cheaper side and all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
uncommon, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, first level spells I think are common. Let me check.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
Melvis
just
is
keep them for
second
when I
level.
become a wizard.
Are you gonna cross class?
I'm I'm weighing a lot of like fighters still gets me a lot of really cool stuff.
Okay,
but
example,
being a wizard
yeah,
level would be
spell
funny.
scroll first level are common items.
Yeah. So the magic
And-
missile is common. The acid arrow is uncommon.
Exactly.
Okay. And that would be
alright.
like 5,500.
Something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Again, if you can have sold it in the time that the time skip. So
Yeah. So I will go ahead and take that, and you know what? Let's take that and split it amongst everyone here.
So 50 to 100 and 100 to 500.
Q will not take
110
any.
each. Hugh won't take it.
Nope.
Okay.
Put Hughes towards the keep.
Okay. We'll go ahead and add in an extra 110, which brings us to 800 gold after we've started spending for the construction of a tower.
I'll throw.
the problem with that, Gar, is workers. You only have a limited amount of workers, and those workers were already engaged in building the stronghold.
Yeah, it wasn't even complete yet, so just
Yeah.
time-wise, now
Because
it's starting now that the previous construction's over.
Because if you don't have the stronghold completed, then you don't get the bonus for expanding into a castle, which means the costs are higher.
Yeah.
Even though it 1-to-1 I know is cheaper, but you're still getting if that makes any sense.
We've got your average city going on here. It's just going to be in constant construction from now on. I'm going to like go to my dining table, and there's just going to be like a roadwork sign.
I was gonna say, like, do you want me to give the 180 whatever you gave me back to you as well?
If you want to just go ahead and put that into the stronghold stats treasury, go ahead.
Yeah, why not? So I
All
I put that what the amount that you were supposed to give me. I didn't hear what it was.
1,001. 110. I mean, yeah. So now we're at 910.
Yeah, put that in the treasury for now, so we have it.
Okay, that's fine.
In fact, you know what? Take an extra 90 and make it an even 1,000.
Sure. There we go. Just bouncing all around on money right now.
I am now at 300 gold even for myself, which I guess I could do whatever I want with.
What if I cast haste all the time? Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Except that they get hasted very short term and then they get exhausted. So essentially, it would backfire. On long term, it would backfire because you get haste, they get exhausted. They're
But
exhausted
if he works
with
them all
haste.
to death and gets new ones.
Yeah, no.
Work them to death, and then he raises them so they can work again.
Haste is a concentration spell, I think, isn't it?
As well, yes.
Yeah. You said you didn't have any, and I'm pretty sure that was one.
The fact that the dwarves don't want to work with undead. I think about undead. Most people don't like undead.
Oh no, it's just up to a minute. I'm wrong.
Mm.
Dang.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got to figure out that too. I guess you may as well make it a concentration spell.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we've met with some of our diplomats. We've started arranging a lot of money to be transferred in construction to start. We're drilling soldiers. We got them mostly sorted out. And we have a general idea of how much they're going to cost per season now. So everything's looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah. What else do we have? Okay. I saw the message, Justin. So yeah, that's happening. Well, I thought it was going to take a little longer than that. Let's see who else shows up. Over the days and weeks, the farms are being set up. I have a question. I think Zigzag is working on the armor, correct?
Yes. We'll go ahead and say Zigzag is taking custody of it for now.
Okay. And that's just plain armor. It's not using the star metal that got consumed in the.
No, yeah, we used that all up, so I'm not assuming it
all done.
was.
Yeah, it's all on the axe.
What? No. Zigzag was making his own plate mail, which would have been sized to him because there was enough of that star metal left. So Zigzag is going to be incredibly well protected with star metal. I've just been commissioning a normal plate mail armor set,
Okay.
which may or may not get magic later on, depending on options available later.
Mhm.
The smithing has to finish first.
Yeah.
Kobold could probably wear it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mhm. Now, there's another. Sorry, I forgot. There's another delegation that shows up.
Oh boy.
And
'Cause
one
everyone
that
else is leaving.
yes, everybody's one leaving, and that's deliberate on this part of this particular little delegation,
Mhm.
because it is the scribe from the Soothgale tribe.
Ooh.
And yeah, again, they travel in relatively large numbers for such little people, because strength in numbers. And let's give him a name. He does not have a name.
Yeah, what's his
Yeah,
name?
I know the original material is just like he's Chief Sootscale of the Sootscale tribe. Like, so what's his like primary name? Chief Sootscale.
No, but I mean the scribe. The scribe doesn't have
the
a name.
the scribe.
No, I mean,
Well,
let's
let's
Umadil.
have some fun with this.
Umadil.
Umadil's his name,
Mhm.
and he is a close friend of my father.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a picture of him soon enough. But he's Umadil, the kobold scribe, and that's why he's so disappointed in you, Hugh. Because, you have not followed the kobold ways.
It's true. He may
and-
feel better now that I don't have a spider.
He may, but then
Yeah,
having
you
a
have
giant,
cat now.
giant,
Yeah.
well, a kitten right now, a small size, relatively speaking, unless the cat decides to grow again, just to mess with him. And yes, this delegation, like almost 10 or more kobolds show up in rigid formation, of course. And you hear a voice, a hue and cry. I think Braith is the one that it's mostly working with the troops aside. My lord, we have visitors, sir.
And Kix will once again he'll like set down his book, put it down, head out, and look out, and suddenly become very excited. And he's going to go ahead and announce in Draconic, friends.
Okay, let me do that because
Yeah, just waiting.
Yet at this point, Hugh has realized that humans should not be hitting people in the shins. They should go more for the chest and head. But
it's
he's,
self-sacrificing.
Yeah,
but
Kix is. But yeah, Kix like has like wandered out front. He's got like his book under his arm. He's like waving over to everyone. Friends, it's great to see all of you here.
And they all bow. The son of the dragon. It's good to see you again, sir.
Wait just one moment. I'll tell my men to open the gates and invite you in. And of course I do. I'll turn and I'll explain, like, yeah, they're all good. Go ahead and let them in.
They look at each other, but they heard about the strange stories about you making peace with kobolds, so they're fine, I guess.
Yeah.
All the delegations have that except for the dwarf. The dwarf is sticking around. He likes it there apparently.
Hey, he's comfy. Let him be comfy.
Oh,
Yeah. And And he basically is standing beside you when he says, like, so those are the kobolds, right? I heard about
That they
them.
would be. They're an interesting bunch, but they've taken to liking me, so I think things have worked out because of that.
Mm. Right, right. You don't mind if I observe, do you?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
You don't mind if I observe, do you? Stand
Oh.
here. I
Oh, of
promise I
course.
won't say anything. Just want to see.
Of course. Be wherever you like. And of course, I'll go out and I'll greet them down there in person. It's great to see you again.
And they speak in Draconic, of course. And everybody
Yeah,
else
and I'm
hears
returning with it too.
Yeah, the yips of the kobolds.
Somehow, like a completely different draconic dialect out of me, which is just like the barks and growls, and it's like, yeah, they perfectly understand each other, same language, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's weird, but that's how exactly how it works.
Gosh,
Bro.
it's like, you
Interesting
know, it's like you
accent.
have like two different languages in Japanese. You have like where you're trying to be polite to someone normally and polite to a superior.
Mhm.
We're just gonna turn draconic into this terrible mess.
Barakat, go ahead.
Uh, I'm just gonna watch with the dwarf.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think on this one, I think Kix is going to be better than me. So
Yeah.
Right, my lord. Son of Dragons. Chief Suskel has said that if you need any help, we're here to help.
That's wonderful to hear. You can
Hmm?
tell him that when you end up returning, that I'm always gracious to have his company, and of course honored to have his help.
Yes. So you need anything?
Well, right now, probably not, but come in, stay a little while. We'll feed you, make sure that your men have rest, and we'll catch up on how things have been going.
Right, right. And he sort of turns around and barks orders to the others, like, "Stay in formation. Don't touch anything.
Yeah.
And
And
if you swipe something, I'll swear by all the gods and Tiamat herself that I will wring your necks." And they'll like shake their heads, like, okay. And he knows that he realizes that you're hearing this. It's like, and Bahamut's big praise too. Yes.
yeah, and I'll just give him like a pat on the shoulder and just nod and not say any words.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. And so they move in. And they stay near the stables, right? Just near enough that they can, they're that area, but they don't get too close to the horses because
Oh my gosh.
yes,
That's a perfect image right there.
yeah.
Sure.
So I'll go in. I'll sit down. I'll serve Amadil some drinks, and we'll catch up a little bit, and we'll probably switch to common at this point, or at least I
Yeah.
will.
I mean, the other kobolds, they clearly understand common, but they don't speak it, right?
Yeah.
But they do the thing like kittens do. They sort of follow the conversation, like, okay, yeah, okay,
You're saying
okay,
things that are very positive sounding, and now you're not sounding so positive.
yeah. And the Umayo he's very curious of what's going on. He asks about this Grant. He wonders why you didn't build the keep closer to the mine where the kobolds are. That would be more convenient.
It would have been, but this is where it already was. We built it on top of the one that was here already.
Very smart. Yes, very smart. Take things that are already there, use them for your own good. That's the kobold way. Yes.
hmm Of course, there's no telling what else has been abandoned out here. We'll have to end up investigating that as well. Maybe there's another hidden gem out there.
Mhm. So, you have any troubles that you wish to take care of quietly?
I felt that way a few times, but not just yet. And it'll say that with like a friendly smile. Ah, I'm trying to like get my brain into motion. Sorry.
That's okay.
Ah, but how have things been going with the mine? I understand that the dwarves have been treating you well.
It got a lot of work, got a lot of iron. Yes, and we even found some either I think they get a bit of a copper too, so we might be digging that up next. It's very exciting, yes,
Mm,
for the diggers.
yeah, it's good. It's good, honest work for them, I think.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And what about yourself? Have you been up to much? I know you're a
Well,
scribe and all, but well,
well, I'm very good with numbers, so I help the
mhm,
dwarves with the numbers. You know, how many kobolds do we have? How much do they paid? Yada yada yada. It's work. It's work.
mhm, mhm.
It's work. Yeah.
Uh, ah, my brain keeps.
That's okay.
Bearcat walks into the scene. No, he senses this.
At this point,
I
actually,
sense a disturbance in the kicks.
at this point, actually, at this point, Hugh would come into the scene as the conversation is lulling between the two.
Mhm, mhm.
And immediately, Hugh, you get that look of like, oh, and he switches back to draconic. You know, you're still alive.
Oh yeah, I actually have a gift to send back to my father. It's stuff that I don't need that he will find useful.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
completely.
what?
I got a blanket, I got rations, and I have clothes.
Hmm.
See, I have these nice ones, so I figured that the tribe could use my old ones. And I hunt all the time, so I don't need the rations.
You are gonna give that to me, so I can give it to your father.
Yeah, because he figures who it could go to best, or the chief, whoever is best to sort of distribute it to who needs it. I may not be there, but I still got support.
Right. Oh. And he turns over to Kix is like, Sire,
Mhm.
my lord,
Oh, yes.
uh would you vouch for these wonderful gifts that this person is giving me?
Oh, absolutely. I would trust Hugh with my life, and probably with my lunch.
He laughs a little bit at the last one where it's like, it's like, okay, that was, and he turns to the other, that was pretty funny. Yeah,
It was.
that was
It
pretty
was
good.
good.
Yeah,
That was
that was good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. It's like, okay, and he takes them, but it's like, okay, man. He hands
Yeah.
it over to another one, and and the other one's gonna drop. It's like, you drop it, I swear. It's like,
So what I give over is 2 sets of common clothes, 13 rations, a blanket, and 6 bars of soap.
they look at the soap and they smell it. It's like,
It's only for when people visit. The dwarfs might like it more.
and he says, and the Umayo was like, I'll take the soap. No, that's fine. That's okay. You know, and he stuffed it in his pockets and all. And he has a bunch of pockets and so like, yes, I'll take
He's
it.
got like a single shirt pocket, and now he just put the soap in it and stick it.
I still have 10 bars on me, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So much soap.
you bathe in soap. It's not water with soap. It's soap, and then you add some water on.
No, it's just Hugh realizes that being a kobold, smelling bad is going to be even more off-putting. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
makes sure to bathe with soap.
Yup. And actually, now that I think about it, Umadil, there is something I think maybe you could help me with.
Like what?
Of more recent events. Did you happen to see a man walking through here? A man in large black armor. He came with a small company. He must have passed through Narwhal. It's the closest outpost.
Oh
I
yeah,
imagine he
yeah.
came south from there.
The man with the straggly, dirty hair and blonde and nasty black armor. Yeah, with all the spikes and such. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I know about him.
The guy looks like he has no friends.
Also
Right.
very bald. That man serves someone who looks very similar to them. He's named Salvador Sex, and he's a knight of Lord Maestron. And Lord Maestron is not a nice person. And if you can't tell that by looking at Salvador Sesk, well, they're very much the same. I only have a small request. I don't need you to slit anyone's throat or anything. In fact, that might ruin the mood a little bit. But
Mhm.
if they come around again and you happen to see them going someplace that's not, say, Narwhal or directly here, I'd love to hear about it. Because I don't think he always has the most honest intentions about him.
Hmm.
And I know as a trustworthy friend and ally, I know you can handle this, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I could have some of the boys do that. Sure, sure. And you see some of them might go like raising their hand, like, "Can I do it? Can I do it?" Like,
Yeah. And of course, I should say you should be very careful around him. I haven't this. I don't think he would waste a single second if he saw any of your men lurking around, that he would slit their throats in kind.
Are you still
I,
speaking in Draconic?
This
uh,
part is probably in Draconic. It is more sensitive, but
yeah, but because he switched to the Draconic and never switched back unless
yeah. When
Uh,
it's casual, it becomes common. When it becomes like strange little things happening, it becomes Draconic.
and you see when you say that the couple of couples that were raising their hands were like most of them do it. One of them is like, and somebody slaps them between the ears, like, well, yes, we have dependent. We're small. We're hard to see. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Yeah. Anything in particular you need to, like, when times he goes to the bathroom or something, and it's like to the latrine or something,
May,
or
maybe not those sorts of details. I'm more interested if he happens to go someplace that isn't directly to us or Norwell. Those places and maybe what he might be up to.
Okay. So
And of course, if you bring me the information, I believe I can, in fact, compensate you for any work that you do for us.
no,
It would only be fair.
I mean, we serve, we live to serve, my lord.
Of course.
Yes.
And then I'll switch back to common and I'll just go, "Oh, Medill, you're a wonderful friend, you know."
I do my best, my lordship. Yes.
And of course, I'll go ahead. I'll refill his drink. I'll drink mine. And I think the conversation will probably, at least for kicks, will go back to more casual stuff unless Hugh makes more plays, sticks around, maybe tries to join.
Oh no.
Good.
Hugh sees he's getting like he's drinking with you, so he'll probably be drunk by the time the night's done. So Hugh is gonna go enjoy the night like he always does. He
Oh,
decides
Right.
there's a reason he doesn't want walls.
Yeah.
Your worship, your worshipness. Could I bring more of this stuff back to the mines?
And I'll lean in and go, it's like, I know the merchant who comes through. I'll send you, I'll let you go back with a barrel right now, and I'll be sure to buy some more for next time.
Great.
Yeah.
I got soap and I got drink. Ooh.
Wonderful combination.
I've never met a truer kobold.
Yeah. Like, out of all the visitors, like, short of the dwarf, like, this is suddenly, like, just the happiest Kick suddenly seems.
In fact, the dwarf is still there. He actually hangs around, and he's just
And he
he's
gets drunk,
laugh-
too.
He's laughing. He's like, oh, this is just worth the price of admission. I have to say, yeah, right,
Isn't it?
let. And eventually he passes out, and the others sort of carry him over to sleep in the hay somewhere. It's like, okay, and they just sort of pile each other. They leave guards, by the way, because they're surrounded by humans. They trust you completely, but the other humans and other things they don't trust so much. So they actually leave guards. Like they make their own little encampments, with spears and everything.
Okay. And Kix just like looks out his window at one point and goes like, "We're gonna have to put the dirt back in when they leave."
Yep, it's okay though. Before the night's up, or just before I go to bed, I'll walk up and be like, "All right, just in case you guys get hungry, here's a good berry. Give each of them a good berry. It'll fill you right up." Yep, it's magic. I know.
Which one? This one's kind of bitter.
Sorry about that. They all taste a little different.
Yeah. Very good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Thanks.
No worries.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
You still have that spider?
No.
Oh.
Well, see, we went to this big old arena in Greyhawk, and I fought a big lizard that spit acid, and he melted him.
Ooh.
But I found a cat.
Oh.
If you promise to be quiet, what I'll show you the secret of my cat. And there's a little kitten on my shoulder. I back up. He hops off and he goes, "Are you ready?"
And they go, they grab his music.
It's all good.
But they made a promise that they're not going to sweep, but they're like,
yeah, it's okay. He likes to snuggle.
what?
Yeah, watch this. And I'll go like right underneath like the leg.
Uh-huh.
And like instant roll over. Still like a kitten, but just the size of a panther.
Yeah. I think I liked it more with the spider. This is just too weird.
Hey, I get it. I've been blessed by the goddess Alona to be, well, not a kobold, but not a person. I don't know what I am. I'm something. Yeah, I'll figure it out, or I won't. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, you do that. And good night. Good night. And yeah, he's saying that, and he's companion's like, yeah. So that happens, and eventually they leave, and he promises to keep an eye out, and he hears anything, he'll send a runner to. It'll take a while. It'll take a couple of days to get here, unless they exhaust themselves. They don't have horses, nothing like that. But if they see anything or hear anything about this, these individuals, then they will certainly let you know. So there's that. So as you're here and time passes, they basically finish.
Mm-hmm.
Another way I could think of my money for the stronghold reads: there's a system spend 1,000 to gain a favor from neighboring lords. Nothing say we couldn't make money to do favors for them, which could be anything from loaning units to aiding their spell research.
Mm-hmm.
So the tower brings in more units, could send them out to start earning gold for the druid. A couple of days later, someone else stops by. As you see riders approaching the keep.
More friends.
Yep.
Bearcat, you're on door duty. Feel free to invite them in. I mean, that's what they're here for.
And they say, in fact, they have spears or lances, I suppose, and they're flying a banner, a yellow banner. And let me see, what's the name of their group? Make sure I got that.
Reduce construction time too. Yeah.
Every
second.
It's a cockatrice in a yellow banner, so it's like a chicken, but like a bestial chicken.
Oh, brave Sir Robin.
And they say, to the lord of this area, the cockatrice riders would like to invite them to Pascorel for talks.
Bearcat, you're at the gate.
To where?
To Pascorel. Pastorl. Pascorel.
All right. Do I know what like where that falls under?
You have to make a history check for that.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yike.
Yeah, you haven't heard about it. This is the first time you're hearing about it.
All right. Well, would you like to come in for the time being?
Very well. No, we're just here to deliver this message. After this, we have other business to take care of.
I see. Well, I can take the message to Baron Kix if you'd like.
Mhm.
So I'll take whatever. God.
Mhm.
I'll take whatever. I guess document they have.
Yeah. I'll take a look at it. They're inviting us to come to Pass Corral.
Yeah.
Well, where is that exactly?
It's in the war zone. Let's put you in the main map, shall we?
Ooh.
We're going back to the main map for this.
Hell yeah.
It is. Let's see.
Yeah, gotta move the big old war zone sign.
Yep.
Let's
It's
see where it is.
it's in this direction, inside the forest itself.
Oh, okay. It's in the forest. Interesting.
Mhm.
So, like right
Over-
here,
over
or
here.
Oh, this direction right here.
okay, so they'd be right here, sort of like on the edge of our domain right now.
Right here in this one below.
This
Yes.
one.
This one. You seen my ping? Right beside it. Right beside it.
The thing stopped suddenly. Okay,
okay.
okay. So
Yeah.
so they are within our domain.
Okay,
Oh,
you should be just wait. I was at the GM layer, that's why you couldn't see.
oh, there we go. So it's
Okay,
over here. That makes sense. Then.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, that's a little way down. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you know what?
That's like
They
maybe a
seem
week.
like they're slightly more established out here. It'd probably be good for us to go out sometime.
What is strange about that is it's a group out in what essentially is the war zone or past the war zone. It's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an area also that you haven't explored yet. You haven't been in this particular area. So
Right.
Okay.
so
Uh,
how who are they? How they survived living in this area with so many orcs and others? It's an interesting situation, to say the least.
right. So, Barracat, if you want to go back to them, go ahead and politely accept and tell them to expect us.
All right. Yeah, I'll go out. Are they human?
Yes, all of them are human.
Okay, every single one is human.
Mhm.
I'm going to report that Baron Kix has accepted the offer and they can accept us to be traveling in that direction soon.
Okay.
Mhm. And then I suppose the knights roll off.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Later on that day, hearing the news, can I make a check to see if I know anything about them?
Well, you live in the area, so yeah, you can make a history check.
Yeah, I'll make a history check too and see if I know anything as well.
Mhm.
Up
Come
10.
on, once in a lifetime.
Hey.
Somehow I got an 18.
Yeah.
Yep.
You really know about this because you do know about a group of humans who often raid into the south. As I want to see, and they apparently live in a well protected forest dwelling. Nobody knows exactly where it is, on account of they keep it relatively secret. And But they have been surviving against the orcs for at least a generation, right? Since since the war. But you do know also that they are not affiliated with Greyhawk in any way, shape, or form. They're not
Okay.
associated.
Yeah. Those
Uh,
guys have been fighting. They've been doing it for a long time. Not connected to Greyhawk, though.
That's interesting. Well, I suppose they're a little bit of a buffer state at the moment.
Are they? Hello, are they still here?
No,
Uh,
they left. They left the message, and as soon as the barricade gave the message, they left.
Roger
they
that.
just came to deliver it and went. So.
Yep.
However, definitely, I will probably bring everyone in over like dinner tonight and just discuss it. It's like, yeah, I hadn't heard of them before, but if they happen to be out there and they're still surviving, if they're so close, they'd be critical allies, wouldn't they?
They might be, but they may also be wanting to take more land. Because if they're out there, they're probably getting hit pretty hard.
Indeed. And we do have the new military forces to assist them if it ends up coming to that case. But if they're just coming to deliver a message and they didn't have much urgency to it, they might not be in trouble right now, at least. So we can go ahead, take our time, plan an excursion whenever we're ready, and, well, see what we need to tend to. We don't know of much of the lay of the land past this point anyway, so we'll have to eventually.
If we go through the forest, I can make it so we travel easier, too.
They could also give us information about the areas they're around, considering we haven't been there before.
Right. It's definitely worthwhile to go see them and speak with them. I suppose I'm not really expecting an idea of treachery out of them. Do we have scout military units? Not yet, Gar. I don't
We have
think
light
so.
infantry.
You
We
got
have light infantry, but I think the scouts would actually
don't
be
have
auxiliary.
Scouts would probably be cavalry, right?
Yes,
Light cavalry.
Yeah,
light
there's
cavalry.
lots-
Yeah.
Mhm. I'd have to like scroll and look. We just have a massive infantry right now,
What would
which
the
could be more massive.
what would the
Oh,
light
some
infantry?
Lalem scouts, yeah.
What would the light infantry then be considered?
Basically, they're militias.
Like-
They're skirmishers, like spearmen, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Wearing light armor. Maybe even things like slingers, which are not really projectile. They're basically skirmishers. That's what light infantry is, right?
They're
You send them
skirmishers.
ahead. Yeah, you send them ahead of the force. They're scouts, but they're not long range scouts. Like they just
Yeah.
send, and it basically is. If you have you're traveling, you want to avoid an enemy colliding with your main body, so you send skirmishers ahead, right?
Right, and if
that's
you were
what
doing
they're
this as like a mass formation, they might even just be auxiliaries. They'd like have javelins, step
yeah.
up, fire once, walk away, and because they're unarmored, they can just do that a little faster.
They're kind of like short-ranged archers.
Yeah, I mean that would be like a very classical sense of doing it. I'm not sure what like a medieval style of light infantry would necessarily be doing, and I think by the time you get to the Renaissance, they just kind of stop and or give everyone pikes.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
pikes win everything.
you wouldn't use you use light cavalry because the horses would be long range, and then people would dismount to do local scouting. Right. So it's not like you don't tend to do scouting unless in the open field from the back of the horse itself, especially if you have mixed terrain. So
when it comes to long range scouts that we actually do have available in those terms, that would probably be either a follower, which is we don't have anyone like that just yet, or particular people we requisition for it.
Yeah.
Or we just send Hugh on ahead.
Yeah.
Hugh, explore the wilderness completely alone.
Go for it.
Yeah. Us traveling in force, though, ought to be safe enough for most things that might occur to us.
That's not
Cavalry is
not
expensive,
much
yeah, it is.
You naturally does. So
reconnaissance is one of the most expensive things in any form of warfare. Be able to know where your enemy's at and be able, it's very vital, but also tends to require elite units to really pull them up. Otherwise, you just send people who are just like, what? I don't know. We're out here. What are we looking for? I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, everyone else came to our door with a smattering of units to show off. We may as well do the same at this point. It'd almost feel awkward not to. So yeah, we could go ahead, take one of these units as guard while we're going. They could even help make the cam, have a small little baggage train, do some hunting, and do other things while we're out there too.
Might I recommend we take the new guys?
Get the greenhorn some training. I think that's a great idea, actually.
I will also accompany then if possible.
They might have scouted us with their units. They showed up in person without them, and didn't consider us a threat.
So I'll come with you with the light green infantry and whatnot.
Right. So you can go ahead. You'll make sure and take. They're good and ready. Take charge of them. The rest of us can prepare as we need to. I know if anything untoward happens, we ought to be able to handle ourselves, but, well, they came with an offer of general friendship. I don't see why we shouldn't reciprocate. Speaking of, do we have a good gift?
I got more soap, but I don't think that's a good gift.
Probably not for these people.
I guess it would be a history check, or do we get like as high as we can on that?
All right. What was that?
I guess the history check we got as high as we can on that already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very secretive, apparently. So the fact that they came out here and just had contact with you is
I mean, they seem to like us.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
fascinating in its
interest.
own right.
I wouldn't know. I had a mic that wouldn't let me ask for an insight check.
well.
I mean, the insight on that would be, well, they're here to deliver a message, and they're already tired.
Mhm.
But yeah, the only way to learn more is to go see them in person and then do insight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if there's any special preparations we want to make for a trip, and if anyone has any idea of when we want to rally out for it, maybe within the week.
I'd say let's go.
All right. Maybe in 45 days.
No,
It's
we'll
okay.
do.
This will be a great way to just waste time immediately, Gar.
We'll do this in the week. Don't worry.
Yeah. Let's really prepare. We'll come out. We'll build a siege fortification outside of their town. That'll be very.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
goodness.
if nobody's gonna do anything else,
Mhm.
and I know I'm gonna have to ask to cut this short because this would go into the next part of the adventure.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I was planning that everything today was just gonna be
Role playing and getting used to things. Yeah. So
exactly.
that's why I'm like not setting like a let's head out immediately time limit on, because I figured like that might just be next
Play
time.
mechanical
Mhm.
stuff.
The
Yeah.
only detail we might be missing would be if we're going to have the old woman who is the stale master.
Yeah.
Need any
Okay.
clarification, but if not, then we're good.
Okay, let's see. What her role would be, if any. I don't know if there's actually is
I
a
don't
role for
think
her.
there is.
Yeah, I don't think there's a
No,
specific
no.
role, but
Like,
it is
No.
flavorful.
It's you can have her as flavor. She's just
yeah,
dealing
she's
with
just
it.
their general NPC.
And there's one more question. I mentioned ambassadors. The question is, you basically got two offers for ambassadors.
Ooh.
One of them is right now staying in the keep, which is the dwarf,
Yeah.
and the other one is the elven lady. She said that she would return or send someone else.
Mhm.
That's a very important question because who do you side with? Can allies and other things?
That's a good question. If we can only choose one of these two, now we got to discuss this.
I mean, you could probably have more than one, but you wouldn't just have. I mean, you're not important enough for people to just. I mean, people have been visiting, of course, but also like 20 ambassadors. You're not a major city or anything like that. So
Right. People who already have a vested interest in us came to see us. So
I
Mhm.
think
there we go.
I think the bigger question is if we do decide to go with this elven woman, then that will directly affect anyone who's wants any involvement with the logging.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we're already sort of on the hook to maybe end up discussing that with them anyway. This is more a question of who stays with us and who do we technically get more benefits from.
Because I think we can have staying with us and staying in contact both the dwarves and the elves. Because the
Yeah.
dwarves are stonework.
Mhm.
They're not going to do a crazy amount of deforestation.
Yeah.
And the dwarves, as long as they probably don't have to deal with them, won't have issue with the wood elves because they're in completely separate areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Both
the
seem
deciding
good.
factors will be if we like this wood elf idea, it does gain an ally, but in Greyhawk it could get rid of quite a few.
Yeah. The elves are a good choice because they're very proximate to us. And of course could maybe actually come and aid us very swiftly. The dwarves are much further away, but have what seem to be a lot of material resources and skill on their side. And they already really like us.
Yeah.
So if we do want to commit to the elves, another boost is me going the path that I'm going down. I could probably develop a very good connection with the elves. One, I have charisma, and I'm going down very heavy druidic path.
What do you think, Braith?
The elves said that they're local, but and please, lessons, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but is Braith like familiar with the local elves in this area at all,
No.
with like his excursions with the war and whatnot?
You do know that these elves are from Selene, which is a neighboring elven country, right? And relationships with Greyhawk they're not hostile, but I would describe them as weary, right? Since Greyhawk is primarily a trading and commercial hub, they're always looking to expand their business opportunities, including logging, damming of rivers, that sort of thing. And these elves do not look kindly upon that. So there have been situations in the past. Not ones that lead to open warfare, but maybe the equivalent of a slap fight here and there, basically.
The
Yeah.
shouting very frequent.
A warning shot here and there, stuff like that. Also, and this is because people who are people, especially humans and others, feel that the elves of Selene did not help during the wars. So, there's a sense of resentment against the nation of Selene because when everybody else was fighting wars, the elves were like, "Nope, we're just going to keep to our own borders and f you." That's what.
Well, I would then say, I would say to Kix that we need to keep it. We have to be very delicate then in regards to the elves. Selene is often very fickle in helping out its neighbors, and we cannot necessarily rely on that unless if we show that we are willing to play by their rules a little bit. If you think that is too difficult, then perhaps allying with them is not the best course of action.
Well, I know that if we continue on our current course, we're definitely going to rub up against them. And I would hate to have an enemy nearby. While I love my dwarven companions and all that I meet, and honestly, they're the people I get along with the best. And of course, our good friend Zig can attest to that too.
Who's a gnome?
Who's a gnome? So we both very much like hanging out with our dwarves. It might be most prudent in a very rational sense to try to let in the elven ambassador specifically to warm relations that are already cold and could get colder if we proceeded in another direction. Meanwhile, I think, as Gar pointed out, we really can't hurt our reputation even worse with Greyhawk than we already have just by existing.
True.
And I guess I'll say it out loud, as I've said, like in the written chat. At least the elves didn't give Hugh funny looks.
No, I mean, kind of, but they didn't last long. Basically,
Mhm.
once
They
they
just at
understood,
least-
once they understood that he was a follower alone, they were like, "Okay, that tracks." In a weird way, but it tracks.
It's okay now. He's part of the club.
Yeah.
Right. Success is more critical than making people happy, I think. Gar is correct. So I think I align with Hugh with, like, we should maybe ally with the elves. Bearcat and sorry, Braith. How does that sound to you then?
If you think it's a good idea, let's do it.
Okay.
You are the Lord in the end.
Well, I mean, I value everyone's opinion. Then it's decided, and Kix will just sort of like slap his hand on his book. Then we shall go ahead and ally with the Elven ambassador.
I mean,
Book slapping motion.
it's not like we can't keep good relations with the dwarves, anyways.
Right, that's true. But we're just going to miss out on some trade opportunities to come, which,
Yeah.
much as I wanted all of the money.
Well, at this point we can ally with both. We're not going to be
Probably, yeah.
affected by
Right.
the dwarves because of the elves. It's going to be more the other people in Greyhawk who already don't like us.
It's true. It's true. They won't rue or resent us for it. Like I said, we're just going to end up missing out on the trade deals. Those trade deals.
Wait, hold on. Why don't you just check with the dwarven representative if he takes any issue with it?
Wait, say that again? I'm sorry.
So the guy who's here for the dwarves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just be like, hey, we're cool with the elves. How do you feel? Is that cool with you?
Right. We'll probably want to broker a longer term piece, but that's a project, I think. But
Okay.
But if we at least start making some inroads with the elves and start making them happy, then at least maybe we can open up that opportunity in the future and reach a critical understanding.
We might even be able to make like a council or a union of humans and elves and dwarves.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe even without the dwarves, we do still have access to the rivers and the lake here.
Yep.
That should hopefully more than enough give us plenty of trade to work with. I guess only time will tell. Just a river, major thoroughfare of the region, passing through anything, it has to make a stop. Yeah, and yeah, we stop them on their way at that little 3-corner intersection. Very nice. So yeah. Then lessons between since we only have one embassy slot and we have to choose dwarf or elf, we are choosing elf.
Okay. So I'm going to move Garen Iron Strike back to, let's put him in Narwhal, so he's going to be nearby, but not.
Yeah.
So if you need to talk to him, I mean, he's probably liaisoning between you and between Ulick dwarves and the other clan of dwarves that is working in the area, which would be the Firebeards.
Yeah, the Firebeards who are working with the kobolds, they do business in Narwhal, so yeah, he's got stuff to do anyway.
Like,
All right.
Well, that was a good stay. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. We'll be seeing you then.
Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed your time with us, and feel free to stop back at any time. And maybe I'll stop by with a little bit of extra booze once trade gets going.
Always welcome, lad. Always welcome. Besides, I think that we ran out of stores already. The stuff we brought, so sold most of it. So we made a good profit. That's good.
That's wonderful to hear. And I'll happily give you even more money for more in the future.
Right.
My
Oh.
wallet's yours.
May the stone protect you always, lad.
All right. So, and now we have the elves coming in.
So we'll take it up that. So yeah, we're moving to this. So we're doing the outros now.
Yeah.
Unless
outro.
anybody has anything to say. Since our friend Gar is still having to deal with his voice problems and probably wants to get to bed if he can. And we'll skip the specifics of everybody saying their own thing. So if anybody has anything specific that they want to announce, this is the time. Go ahead.
So, other than of course who people have played and all of that, which we are holding off on. I am Justin, and I am the GM for a game coming up, which is actually the first campaign for a new channel, One Bad Roll. It will be called the Suncrest Chronicles. It is taking place in a world of my own creation, which has its many interesting facets and problems that have developed throughout the ages. But the players will be starting off tackling the small problems of their own lives. It should be a great time starting this Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. It will be posted here on the channel when it goes live, but I wanted to give that shout out, and anyone who wants to come watch, support, are more than welcome, and I look forward to seeing the result.
Okay.
All
Nice.
right.
Nice.
Wonderful. Lessons, Rob, you got anything for today?
I mean, I'll just plug the fact that my name is Rob. I write for techraptor.net. Gaming website for all your needs, news, reviews, previews, interviews, editorials, all that fun stuff. Check out all of our work. We're getting into the E3 season, so we're going to have a lot of stuff going up, obviously, as more announcements and things are made. And also, I have started streaming on my own channel, including a playthrough of Mass Effect, a sort of comedy, quasi-renegade playthrough, because my partner in crime, Kenny, would hate me otherwise if I didn't make it that. As well as a role play of Baldur's Gate. So if you want to check that out. In fact, I'm playing it tomorrow, Monday nights, and maybe we'll do it Thursday as well. I haven't decided yet.
All right. Sounds great then.
And of course, I am streaming Mass Effect Lineage Edition. We're now in with Mass Effect 2, the later half of that, and also prepping up to do a YouTube version of that playthrough as well. And also, on Sundays before this show, I'm doing the podcast. We won't have a podcast next week, but probably next week after that, we'll be also talking about E3 and all things gaming and opinions and the like. And of course, I'm here. GMing for these wonderful folks into the Wild Coast coming next Sunday, if everything is, everything comes up roses. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Hope everybody who is feeling unwell would get slightly better, just slightly increases, and I will not delay any further. Thank you for coming, and as always, we'd like to love you and to see you. Bye-bye.
See you all next time.
Take care.